talk about. We'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking. Just keep talking. Talking. For so long. Oh, we're babbling on. We're babbling Okay, Babbles. It's our holiday spectacular episode. I'll just get right into it. Please welcome our resident food correspondent, Lesbian Food Account, aka Haley Yates.
Hi to our loyal and
The loyalists.
and beautiful babblers.
Yes, and our active community of babblers, which I am going to admit, I posted a questionnaire right before this to get some questions.
Yeah, 0.
I didn't get any. Did you?
I actually did get some,
Okay.
but that's okay.
But you know what? It's early. Like, people didn't have time to ask questions yet. Like, I get
didn't
it.
give them any heads up. I didn't even tell them that I would be doing a Q&A section of my Instagram story.
Oh, wait. So before we get into the nuts and bolts, I do want to say we're here with Haley Yates, who's known colloquially in Brooklyn as one of the great chefs and friend to gay guys. And you recently started at a cool restaurant, Dinner Party, that just opened in Fort Greene. Clinton Hill.
Yes. Since the last time we talked on this here podcast, my professional food journey has changed. I went from being private chef vibes to working on the line, which is what you say when you're
On the
working
line?
in a restaurant.
What does that mean? Like, you're like on the line.
Yeah, the line is basically like the long counter that you prepare all the food in.
So is
in
it
the
basically like an
restaurant.
assembly line where you're like passing a thing? Like, one person's like, here's the chives, and then you're like, I'll fry them, and then the next person's like, here's the sauce.
That could be an option, but that's not an option. That's like not the
That's
way
not it.
that the line I work on works. And typically you have like stations. You have a cold station, a hot station, a fry station. So all things cold, say like salad assembly,
Okay.
are done by the same person, which I actually just learned a really epic term for that. It's called a garde-manger.
Garde-manger is salad prep.
It's like, yeah, like cold station salad vibes.
And what station are you positioned at?
We all rotate stations. We also change our menu every 2 weeks. So our stations are constantly changing because the needs of our menu are constantly changing.
And you have a fixed menu at Dinner Party, is that correct? Like, people can't choose what they want. They just, like, get what they get.
That
is
you
that
get
wrong?
what you get and you don't get upset.
upset.
That was the topic of my college admissions essay randomly.
Wait, what was? You get what you get and you don't get upset. Like,
Yeah.
that phrase.
Yeah. Don't.
Where did you land on it?
Don't.
Like, were you pro or anti?
I was pro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
See, I was about to be anti. I was like, actually,
practicing
you
radical
do
acceptance.
get upset when you get it.
I was pro.
Like, you
and I
get
was
what you
saying,
get,
like,
but you're allowed to get upset.
you can get upset, but ultimately you do get what you get.
Yeah, that's where I land.
So that's the compromise.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dinner Party is a prefix menu, which means you have the same 4 courses. And new in our restaurant, because we moved from Fort Greene to Clinton Hill, you actually get to order a la carte at the bar now. So you can get
okay.
a single dish off the menu.
And what if you're vegetarian or something now?
Well, then you are taken to a special room. You are executed. And then we fry the remains.
And serve it.
We actually are baller status with dietaries. So vegans welcome, vegetarians welcome, dairy-free, gluten-free. I posted on my Instagram story, we had a fruit phobia, which is just like,
Oh, I saw that.
that's insane.
Was that real?
Like, scared of fruit. Couldn't look at it on a plate. Like, couldn't have it.
I recently saw a video where a woman had a phobia of Simon Cowell.
Oh, bitch. Yes,
So
Simenophobia.
all sorts of fears can occur.
Yes, and they're medical grade.
Yeah. Do you have any like that?
Well, I used to have like doctor phobia.
Really? Like needle?
Yeah, it was specifically needles.
I never cared so much. I mean, I don't like them, but it's like, I'm not going to faint.
I cared a lot.
You cared a lot.
And I freaked out and I physically assaulted a doctor when I was 14.
Keep going.
Because she was approaching me with the needle and I grabbed her wrists and pinned them back. And she was like, "You're assaulting me." And I was like, "Well, you tried to give me my flu shot, so."
So who ultimately like was in the right?
Ultimately, I was in the wrong and
you
was
were wrong
given like tranquilizers.
Actually, now come to speak of it, when I was in like 6th grade, my right foot burst out into hundreds of white warts.
Oh, yes.
And we tried to laser them off.
We,
the community, came together to try to laser them off with a doctor. And it hurt so bad that I was screaming at the doctor like, "Fuck you, you bitch!"
I can see that.
And then it didn't work and it just made the warts worse. And then we wrapped my foot in duct tape. The warts were gone the next day.
Duct tape raw?
Duct tape raw. Trust.
For those at home who can't see, I'm giving Hilton a really scared, squinty look.
Well, actually, it's not that extreme. Did you get Botox or something?
I got Botox. No, I didn't. But I want it. If anybody would like to give it to me for free, I want it.
I don't want it because I believe in natural beauty. No shade.
I don't believe in it, and I have a phobia of it.
I had a phobia of... I still am very afraid of snakes. So,
yeah.
Like, please don't prank me with that shit.
So don't look behind
Maybe
you.
I should be.
A snake! No,
Okay.
but yeah, I had a needle phobia. My mom actually gave me hypnotherapy after that assault, and it didn't work.
Your mom gave you...
Sorry, my mom gave like a practitioner, commissioned a practitioner.
I wouldn't have been surprised if it had turned out your own mother busted out the thread and metal ring to do the hypnosis.
I think we should all feel empowered to produce our own hypnotherapy.
To produce our own children.
But yeah, hypnotherapy doesn't work. It is just
it didn't work. Okay.
No, I mean, I was
it's like fake.
Yeah. But I feel
real.
fine about needles now, and I don't consider myself having major phobias.
Okay, tea on anything more to say on dinner party? Like,
Dinner party is absolute tea. I mean,
can people walk in? Do they need to make a reservation?
you can do both, and it's like all gay people, and it's like heaven, and my life has
Favorite dish?
I have been changed for good.
Oh my god, we have Wicked coming up.
Wait, we're going together.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
so.
So basically,
Because
working,
I knew you. Sorry.
because I knew you.
I have been changed.
Working in a restaurant is like legit so fun.
Wow.
It like
I cannot
I know it's
imagine
like-
having a job.
I know it's sensitive because of cafe.
I spilled my seltzer on a woman's laptop while working at Cafe Cleaning.
And you weren't in the wrong.
No, I did the right thing.
Yeah. But it's so interesting because working on the line in a restaurant is like basically, I think, the job that prepares you for any other job in the world. Like,
Teamwork.
it's like legit insaneness, and like I respect as hell anyone who does that. And I do think anyone who has ever worked back of house in a restaurant could be an ER doctor. I'm not joking.
I agree with you completely.
Yeah,
That's because I peeked back of a house when I worked at Cafe Cleaning for
you have to be so
3 shifts.
Oh, yeah.
4
So you were
shifts.
tenured there.
I was a tenured professor. But then,
You
of
have to be
course-
so organized and communicative.
communicate with me.
You have to say constantly what I'm saying. It's
There you go.
behind, sharp behind, hot,
Needles.
hot corner, hot at corner. Yeah, you have to
Hot.
like announce every movement.
God, that's so cool.
Above,
I
below.
love a chore.
Yeah, you can.
Architectural digest.
You can come anytime, basically.
Okay, cool. I'll come soon. Okay, so anyway, couple business proceedings. Who are you in the 8 entering this combo?
Oh God, the 8.
I'm Hannah because I'm having stomach cramps and I just ate a burnt bacon, egg, and cheese and hash brown sandwich.
I could. Well, I could be Ray because he works and owns a coffee shop, right?
Oh yeah.
But that's not the 8.
You could kind of be Shosh by that train of thought because she works with Ray.
Yeah, or I could be Hannah by that train of thought because she worked in the cafe.
That's true. Or you could be, Carrie worked at the tunnel years
and
ago.
Samantha did PR
had sex with the waiter from the tunnel.
Samantha put sushi on her naked body, so maybe
That's
I'm
true.
Samantha.
You are Samantha. Let's keep it straight.
I'm Samantha because I have put sushi on my naked body.
Have you?
No, that's just...
I actually really would love to.
But I have had...
What's your tea?
I've engaged in some light food play.
I've done some light stuff. It didn't add fuel to the relationship.
Okay, so the fire was
It actually was kind of the last act of that.
So reader, for those listening, when you bring food into your sexual relationship, it is the end of it.
I hope it can also be the beginning because it was really fun. The food I brought in was honey.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you bring in?
A classic, similar, like, a jam, jelly, an artisanal syrup.
An artisanal syrup.
Yeah.
Raspberry jam?
Yes, sort of.
I love raspberry. What are you getting at?
It was like a... I'll tell you later.
Okay, too.
Yeah.
Although
it was sort of a cherry sumac syrup.
Okay, sumac. Anyway,
so now I told
what
you.
are you babbling on about today, Haley? Lesbian Food Account.
So, by that metric,
By that
today, the two top culinary minds will be babbling on about food, but more specifically, because 'tis the season
to be jolly.
We're talking about holiday food.
Holiday
because tea giving coming up in a big way, and then once you catch your breath, you're right back under in Christmas.
To Christmas. Yeah. And then, like New Year's, you need a little bit of pigs in a blanket.
You need a little caviar and champagne.
Oh, yeah, that actually makes more sense.
But I want pigs in a blanket more.
So, yeah, holiday cooking. We had you on as our special holiday spectacular because holiday cooking can be tough. And there's also some side issues worth tackling, like who are you inviting? And
right.
Shit,
Well, because I kind of feel like Thanksgiving is one of those holidays that has most formally split into like a friend version and a family version.
Yeah.
And it's really stressful to try to pull off both. If you're doing a Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
And
I'd
then a
say
family
since
Thanksgiving.
College, I've mostly done friends for Thanksgiving and then family for Christmas. And so that's what I'll be doing this year.
This is my first year doing that.
Really?
Yes, my first year not going home for Thanksgiving.
What are your Thanksgiving plans, if I may?
I think TBD, but I think my parents actually might visit and we might eat at Dinner Party because Dinner Party, the restaurant is doing like a custom menu and I'm not going to be working.
That's so nice.
What are you going to do?
There's a clanging happening outside. What is that clanging? We do live next to a construction site. Like, apologies. I think I'm going to do something with babbling on.
Oh, heaven.
It's going to be heaven.
So that's Mary Claire and that's heaven.
So approaching Thanksgiving cooking, like what is your, I think we should probably start with the turkey. So that is the centerpiece. Although like, what are your thoughts on the turkey? Because I'll come out and say like turkey usually comes out pretty dry to me and I'm not really like dying for turkey.
Yeah. So I think the Thanksgiving plate has some traditional heavy hitters we can go by, but turkey is, I would say, famously the
front runner.
Yeah. And turkey is just such a bigger bird. It is hard because
to be clear, a turkey, it's like you're taking a turkey off of the forest. Like, it's not like a different version of the bird.
You're taking a turkey off of the forest.
Yeah.
No, turkeys are in the forest.
And they're big.
And there's a lot of meat, and it's hard for salt, aka flavor and moisture, to penetrate that much.
Why? Because it's so like...
Just because there's a lot of flesh.
Muscular?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, for a turkey...
What can we do to make it taste good? Because so often it tastes bad.
I think because we're so, Draper family Americana pilled. We think we have to like present this huge, beautiful bird on the table, which does have wow factor. But I think you should break down a turkey like you do a chicken. Like, you can have just turkey legs or just the breasts or just pieces of the turkey. And A, they cook more evenly and faster. And B, you can just like control.
So we're saying cut it open into smaller chunks before we're even cooking it.
I'm saying break it down like you would break down a whole chicken. And by the way, what are those words? Grocery stores sell turkey parts. Like, my family, just because there's 4 of us, oftentimes will just get like a turkey breast like you would a chicken breast.
Okay.
Like, you don't have to have the whole bird. It's so much meat.
Do we need to eat turkey? I mean, traditionalism, of course, is going to say yes. But, like, would you be offering alternatives? Chicken?
Yeah, or, like, whatever. Get, like, prime rib, sirloin.
What about the vegetarians? Which brings me, I didn't get any questions back off of my Instagram post, but I did reach out privately to some people. And one person asked, how do you tell people to grow up and stop being vegetarian? Which, let me be clear, I support vegetarianism. But I guess
this is a hard topic
I know
for me.
This is going to be like controversial, and I will staunchly stand on the side of the vegetarians because I feel sad for the fallen animals. But just to honor the person's question, what would you say to those people, and what would you offer as a main course for a vegetarian audience, which I'm sure you're running into a lot in the Brooklyn lesbian scene?
Oh my gosh. I mean, being so entrenched in the Brooklyn lesbian scene, like, my stance on meat could have me killed. I mean, if I'm not careful around the right people, I could die.
And yet, I'm sure a lot of lesbians get a real thrill out of hearing you go, meat, 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 meat.
Well, a few things.
Oh, God. I'll babble that.
A few things. One, love is love. It's okay to do what you want.
What if love isn't love?
So then that brings me to my next point, where love is not necessarily love. Because there are many ways to mitigate the guilt and the impact of your meat consumption.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty, aka it's going to be a lot more expensive, and you're going to have to get a lot more discerning. But there are ways. For example, buy your Thanksgiving turkey from a whole animal butcher where you can track how the turkey has been raised and processed.
I have one quick thing, though. So lately I've been thinking about reincarnation. I'm like, when we die, are we done, or do we have to live life again eternally?
It's interesting.
Which is like kind of...
What do you think?
Well, I don't want to be reincarnated. I want to do this life, make the best of it, and then be done.
And then call it.
Like, I think it would be eternal damnation to have to live life over and over. And I think if we do, we're not aware of it. And so we probably do. And so we're probably living in hell already. But my point is, if we're reincarnated, I don't think it's necessarily as humans. Like, what if we come back as a turkey and then we have to suffer the fate of like being in these little farms and then murdered? And I'm like, oh, maybe I do need to go vegetarian.
Well, I think that, like, I mean, there are so many bad versions of the way livestock and animals are raised. Because we're all
standing by and just letting that happen and watching the suffering.
And I have tea. I have tea.
What's tea?
Girls, we're doing that to humans, too. We're standing by and watching a lot of suffering happen.
Oh, fuck. You're so right.
There are many ways animals are living beautiful lives, just like there are many ways humans are living beautiful lives.
Yeah.
I also believe in the circle of life with animals, and that sometimes if I'm reincarnated as a Thanksgiving turkey, then great. Like, that's sort of like in and out, like let's move on to the next reincarnation where I'll be like,
that is a quickie.
A beautiful flower in a field.
I would love that until the lawnmower arrives.
I'm actually in a field that doesn't know lawnmowers.
Why would being a tree be heaven a little bit?
I know. I want to be a
deep
tree.
In New Zealand.
New Zealand core.
Yeah, Lord
Kiwi.
of the Rings. Kiwi. So, okay.
So back to us back vegetarianism, though, like, my first point was, if you want to consider eating meat, let's talk. My second point is what I would do for a vegetarian at Thanksgiving dinner is, I think that meat imitations are an abomination. I think they don't make any fucking sense.
So you don't support the Impossible Burger?
I do not support that. That's just me and my team.
I've had a few pretty good ones.
I'm sure they're good. I'm
here to stand up for the vegetarian community,
but
who
I think we should
have a
just
voice right now, since neither of us are vegetarian.
I think we should just put more focus and love and energy into the sides, because basically sides are every last thing.
Agreed.
But like
for me, Thanksgiving, I only want the sides. I don't even take the turkey.
Exactly.
Often.
So I'm just like, make the meal more plentiful. And if you're doing Friendsgiving or Thanksgiving with vegetarians, just kind of queen out in so many other ways.
Yeah. So we're going to walk through the sides. But before we do, just to keep us organized, if we are deciding to prepare a turkey, we've now learned we should break it up before cooking. Yes. And then what can we do?
I think one option is to break it down into parts and roast the legs, the wings, the breasts separately.
Are you brining those in salt?
Yes. And I think if you are leaving it whole or breaking it down, you should always be brining. I think for a Thanksgiving turkey, you should do a dry brine, which is when...
What is that?
Which is when, instead of you're making... a typical wet brine is when you're dissolving salt in water and you're submerging the bird.
Yeah.
A dry brine is...
I've learned that from allrecipes.com.
Tea.
There.
And a dry brine is when you're just letting the bird rest in salt and seasonings in open air in your fridge. So...
Isn't that going to make it congeal on the surface?
So a fridge actually has like fans in it. Like that's what like moves the cold air around. Like the tech has moving air. So the salt and seasonings permeate the meat, and the skin actually kind of dries out and frankly looks a little freak nasty. It like looks a little taut.
So you're not even putting it in a Tupperware?
No.
See, I do this all the time with different foods that I'm shoving in the fridge, and I'm always thinking, if someone saw this, they would yell at me. But we're actually thinking it could be okay.
Yeah, well, that's like, have you ever heard in meat, there's something called a dry age, like a dry age ribeye?
Yeah.
That is open air refrigeration.
Open door policy.
Open door policy. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe if you're like letting something sit there for a long, like weeks and it's growing mold.
Black mold.
But like 24 to 48 hours in service of a good Thanksgiving turkey.
Okay. And I could almost see how that crusting of the sacred skin could end up turning into a nice crunch once cooked.
A crispy cruncher. Exactly. Yeah. It dries out the skin and then makes it
so after that congealing process, we're going to roast it in the oven.
I'd brush it with butter, or I actually just was thinking about brushing a bird with ghee, because that's clarified.
Pardon me?
Ghee. Because that's clarified butter and it doesn't have.
When you
like,
clarify a butter, you're just like making sure the butter is.
You're playing clarity.
Being clear.
To it.
I don't like that song. I do like Kim.
I do like Kim.
I don't like
Kim
the Clarity album. I like the Halloween albums and the Rainbow singles, of course.
Oh my God, the Rainbow singles.
God, they're everything.
God, what a time.
Those were the days. She should release those as an album.
They're not? They're all
still singles as far as I'm aware.
They're Lost Rainbow Girls?
Yeah.
Let's get them together.
Okay.
Ghee is clarified butter, and I don't really have more to say on that topic.
I digress.
Yeah, but you're sort of boiling it, letting the milk solids separate.
So we brush it, we roast it, we serve it with a sprig of thyme.
Yeah, sure. I mean, stuff it with aromatics if you're doing whole, or lay it over aromatics if you're doing pieces, and that's things like herbs, things like onions, garlic.
And if people wanted to follow a recipe, would you direct them to any specific chef? I know I've often turned to Alison Roman, and she'll be coming up in some of our following dishes that I have things to
She's Queenington, and I support her.
She has a good turkey recipe?
I actually don't know specific girls to point you to.
Sure.
I know, but Allison is a good
Will
resource.
you be cooking turkey this year?
So the $1 million question. Will I be cooking this year?
There's a gun under the table, by the way.
Hilton just pressed a gun to my temple.
Press the gun to the temple. Oh, shit.
I do not know.
Culture.
There is talk of
I knew there was something you were sitting on.
Friendsgiving with friend of the pod, Evan Malevich Carter.
Loving Mrs. Bitch.
And if you're listening, Evan, I love you. And if
love
you're
you
listening,
too.
Hilton, I'll invite you if we do this.
No, like I'm stopping by.
That would be the scenario in which I'm roasting a turkey, because I don't think I'm not gonna cook real Thanksgiving. I'm gonna go out to eat.
Yummy, yummy. And will they have turkey?
I kind of think, like, wouldn't they?
Let's move on to another dish. I want to give us both the chance to express our favorite dish of the holidays. Mine is stuffing.
Stuffing is the only thing that I personally care about.
Yeah, same.
Above life, above self, above community.
Oh, who said anything about life, self, or community? I don't care about that shit.
When stuffing's on the table.
Stuffing I could eat until the bread comes. So first of all, what is stuffing? Once and for all, like, what are we talking about?
Okay, so stuffing originally was used to stuff the inside cavity of the bird to keep it moist.
So you're taking what, bread?
Bread, and oftentimes I'm a sausage stuffing girl.
Well, we're gonna get into what we do, but like traditionally in the beginning of history, what was actually happening?
It's like torn pieces of bread
and why
to
would
soak
they do
up.
That?
Because the bird will secrete juices, and I'm sorry to have to say it like that.
And yet it was said.
So you can,
and for that you won't be forgiven.
You can take old bread pieces, tear it up, put it inside the bird, and then it comes out as this, like, flavored, gooey, aromatic, gooey.
And you don't want the juices. It's okay to remove the juices from the bird like that? It's not going to dry it out?
No.
Okay.
I mean, otherwise they'd just be like
on
slooping into the pan.
Tonight we're gonna get on the floor. That song's underrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight to LA, New York, London to Africa.
Oh, shit. Dance the night away. Grab somebody, take them on the floor.
So yeah.
Okay, so that was the old days.
80 pounds of stuffing, and that means I'm cooking separate trays of stuffing.
Is that old method still used, or is that no longer?
Yes, it is. But I think some people, like health professionals, would say like it's not as like sanitary, like to
right, because you're sucking in basically the intestinal fluids,
or like what if like the juice, like the bird juices don't cook all the way out, and then it's
okay. So people don't really do that as much anymore. That's
I don't
not
know.
really
I think
how
traditionalism. I think actually people will do that for show, but I think ultimately what you're eating is baked in trays.
So they'll just do that to be like, I did it, but they won't actually eat it.
I was talking to
what a waste
mutual
of bread.
friend and friend of the pod, Ned Hardy, this weekend about stuffing, and he was saying he prefers the inside of the bird stuffing, but like not many girls are brave enough to do it.
And what would you eat given the chance? Because I know you salivate at bone marrow and
I like gooey congealed things.
So are you gonna go for that?
I mean, if given the, I would.
It would
go
be
for
great if you supported the non-cavity stuffings, because most of us are going that route and would love to have a foodie staunch supporter.
I mean, yes, and I am supporting that, but I would, if offered, I would eat it from the bird. I wouldn't turn my nose up.
But would you choose that?
No, because I don't think it would be as good.
Because with outside the cavity stuffing, you can then get into adding sausage,
and like I usually do like
putting
celery,
sausage
onion.
in the. Oh, I'm gonna be sick. Okay, celery is huge to me.
Yes. I mean, some people, and I'm classic bread. I'm not.
Yeah, what kind of bread is this?
I'm
whole
like,
wheat?
No, like white crusty bread. And
so I did the Alison Roman stuffing recipe maybe 2 years ago, and it called for stale bread.
Yes.
Of course, my family is mostly gluten-free. I'm not, although it might solve a lot of my issues, so maybe I should try it. But so I used gluten-free bread, and I left it out overnight to make it stale. Yeah. And that's what I did.
And was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I think gluten-free bread is okay in stuffing because you're like gluten in bread is what makes it like soft and bouncy and yummy. And in stuffing, that doesn't really matter. You're letting it dry.
You want it to dry. And so we're going to take dry bread.
And then you're going to do like, you're going to saute your aromatics like you would the base
Garlic
of any
and onion,
garlic and
shallot.
onion. I like celery.
Celery would count as an arrow
If you put sausage in it, here's your time.
to cook the sausage. Yeah,
And-
you're talking about like ground up.
Yeah, ground sausage.
Yeah, ground sausage. Yeah, I would like to have that in mind.
Yeah.
For more savory.
Exactly. Savory. And sausage is often flavored with fennel seeds, which I love.
Oh, hi, Fan.
Fenny.
Fanny.
And that's a cute name.
I actually really like that. You should have a kid. Do you
should
want
have
one?
a kid.
I can't have one. I can barely keep these plants alive.
It's TBD. I think if if I was like with a long-term partner and they were so gung-ho about kids, I'd be
So you would let them
open,
do all
but
the work.
I don't think I'd like campaign. And I'm certainly not growing one in this body.
You're not getting pregnant.
No, even though I have the body for it with the beautiful wide childbearing hips.
Such a missed opportunity. No, I'm actually like, whatever. I digress. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, and then then you're tossing the bread in to coat it, and then oftentimes you're adding a little broth, whether that be chicken or vegetable, because you're making it wet, you're making it gooey, and then you're baking it.
And do we have secrets to make it taste as possibly good as it could? Like, because some stuffing is better than others. What do you look for in the best stuffings? Like wetter, more butter?
Yeah, I mean, fat in any case, olive oil and butter mix, go crazy.
Is there a bread type? Salt.
Salt early, salt often, salt every step.
Yeah. And that applies, as we discussed on your last time appearing on the podcast, to all cooking.
Exactly.
Like salt, every step, salt off.
Exactly. And bread is
Which people learned a lot from that.
I got a lot of good feedback.
Yeah.
It was really sweet.
It was really great. We didn't really address up top how your last episode was one of the great hits of the show so
We
far.
haven't addressed that, and I'm sorry to the community. And I'm sorry.
Well, I think I'm sorry. I'm sorry for a lot of things. I just think that a lot of us don't really know that much about cooking, myself being chief among them. So it's great to learn these little tips from someone who's so steeped in the knowledge and the tea bags.
Yeah, because the tea bag is that anybody can cook. That's the name of my tea.
Cook.
Like,
Ratatouille.
I'm now a chef in a restaurant, and I never went to culinary school. I made my own tea.
I made risotto over the weekend upstate.
gosh,
Yeah, it was an
yum.
orange saffron
Yum.
mascarpone. Yeah, saffron, which is what I would name a kid.
Oh, that's fennel and saffron.
And we could call them
Saffy and Fenny.
babbling.
Holy shit.
I'll babble that. Okay, so
yeah,
stuffing,
salt, fat, yum.
any secret ingredients you would like to add? Would you throw in carrot or?
I would. I don't. Well, I could. I don't know if I would.
Okay.
My tip for stuffing is tear the bread instead of cut the bread.
Okay, because you want those irregularities to crisp and brown.
Exactly. You want the craggles.
How am I doing this? Craggles. It's like I already know it all.
Because it's intuitive.
Didn't you ever want to rip hands? Learn it all.
Yeah.
Learn what? You always at Harry. Sorry.
Sorry, that's her tick.
Ticky.
But yeah, it's get more craggly edges so that you can
God, that's
have
such a nice word, craggly.
craggly.
That would be a good name.
Craggle.
So we have 3 kids now. Okay, so that's stuffing.
Yeah, stuffing. And then I would say the other heavy hitter of a Thanksgiving plate is mashed potatoes. But frankly, and I'm going to let you in on a secret,
Don't start on me.
they're not my absolute tea.
That I don't believe you. Like I feel like I've
eat-
known you for like 13 years or something,
like,
and like you've
they're-
always been going creamy mashed potato, creamy mashed potato.
Oh, I forgot the 8 years I spent with that as my Instagram
You did 8
bio.
years doing that, and every time we would hang out, you would just say that over and over, and
know, and
everyone
it
would be
got,
like, "Can you
weird.
like stop?"
Yeah, no, it got weird.
Creamy mashed potato.
It's just like they're good, and there's nothing wrong with them.
I find they're great when they're so smooth it's unnatural. As soon as there's a little fleck of skin or like imperfection, I'm like, ugh.
Oh, I kind of like
I knew this.
I
I knew this.
kind of like skin and like
No skin for me. I want
I
it
don't
to be
know.
like basically a
a soup.
snow.
Yeah. No, I do love that. And that is cool. And I think like a Thanksgiving plate without mashed potatoes is wrong, and like cops are at your door.
A cab.
A cab, of course. A
cab.
But they are coming.
But they are there.
And you're going to jail.
Abolish
no bail.
prisons.
And with that being said, abolish prisons, except for you.
Yeah. Well, sure.
But yeah, they're just, I don't really have anything to add. Like,
What? So you don't want them?
I want them, and like they need to be there. I'm just like
Secrets from a girl who's seen it all?
it's just like
Butter?
butter, lots of butter, lots of fat. Like, add sour cream, add heavy cream, like add everything.
So
you
cream it
fucking
out
can.
now. The funk's all run out. Work
Infuse
it out now.
the cream with garlic, like simmer cream on the stove with
easy,
garlic
girl,
cloves.
slow it down. How do you infuse a cream with garlic?
Like
you were just
put
saying.
it in a little pot and put garlic cloves on the stove and let it like simmer until the garlic cloves like cook in the cream.
And do you need to chop those cloves first, so you
Not
leave the skin
necessarily.
on?
Don't leave the skin on. Like,
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, chop them if you want.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting. That's a good tip.
Yeah, I'm just not passionate about it.
Okay. So
But-
what about sweet potato?
I do like sweet potato. And okay, you know what I always insist on making, and like everybody, aka my 3 other family members, are like, enough, is like sweet potato casserole with like marshmallows.
No to the marshmallow,
See,
but
I
yes
knew you-
to a topping of like pecan
and brown sugar.
and brown sugar. That is delish, and that
then
becomes
it's like
one of my favorites.
marshmallow on the table is whimsy. So you're against whimsy?
I am
You
against
hate fun.
whimsy in certain scenarios, like a serious sit-down meal. Which, by the way, we forgot to mention up top, like Thanksgiving is a colonialist, like
Yes.
murderous holiday.
And by the way, like we are anti-colonialism and sorry,
yeah, I'll babble that. But I will say, like the core tenet of gratitude is a great thing to lean into.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to have something that we all look forward to coming together over a meal. I don't think we need to honor the colonialist practices and,
Right.
things that
it-
birthed the holiday.
How arbitrary that turkeys get mass murdered just because of like some random lore that a pilgrim gave a turkey to.
I know.
Whatever the fuck.
And by the way, I'm sure like all the lore is completely wrong.
Fake.
I'm sure colonists were like completely barbaric and
Oh, totally.
like stole the turkeys.
No, it's actually disgusting to think about that time.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about the start in that way. I just want to think about
Let's just focus on the
one
food.
day you come together and for complete random reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And I really do think, and I think most A-list celebrities would agree with me, that gratitude is the
Yes, core tenet of
core
being
tenet
alive.
of
Drew
being alive.
Barrymore in the rain.
yeah. There
you
we
know
go.
that
Yeah,
video?
Drew. Yeah, of course.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like I was watching Wicked Press the other day and just hearing about gratitude.
Yeah, those girls in the Wicked Press tour sure are
Which
grateful.
that's a Thanksgiving movie. this year.
They cannot get through a damn interview without just like crying, which kind of reminds me
teen?
of when I was in
a movie theater.
musical in my junior year of high school. And
Yeah, high school casts were crying. Well,
High
I
school
thought you were going to say
casts-
movie theater because every time I've gone to the movies with you, and you've
been
been
crying.
first to admit that like movies make you like scream, cry to the point that you upset the other people in the
I've
theater.
been crying in a huge way. I just saw Honora and I loved it, but I did weep
God, it was
halfway
heaven,
through. I kept
heaven.
weeping. But some of it was weeping tears of joy.
I cried with joy at that movie. Yeah,
I loved it.
it was so.
I want to
good.
watch it again, actually. I'm going to go like
I want to see it again too.
this.
Yeah, I would, but oh god, I have such a busy day. We'll get to that.
Okay, well, let's
so
move on.
so you're gonna put marshmallows on your sweet potatoes.
Yes.
That's where we do begin to digress.
I do have a good polarizing question.
Okay,
Cranberry sauce, canned or homemade?
or none at all.
Or none at all, but for the purposes of this game.
Okay. I don't really go for cranberry sauce, so what would you choose?
Well, I think both are so amazing. I was
I am
raised
a big
in the
supporter
church
of cans.
I was raised in the church of homemade, but I've recently gotten into canned and been like, the shit is good and freaky because it's like, I love the visual of like it slopping out of the can.
Makes me think of cat food because
Yes.
as we discussed last podcast, I eat a lot of refried beans
Yes.
and that comes
Yes,
out of
yes,
the
yes.
can into
Similar
a cylinder
consistency,
shape, and
yes.
it's like, holy shit! Like I'm eating this.
I know, but it's kind of good. Actually, my parents fell in love over a can of cranberry sauce. Isn't that interesting?
Can you explain?
My grandparents knew each other and tried to set their kids up on a marriage. And one day they were having Thanksgiving together, and my parents were both circa the age of 30, home for the holidays. And my grandma said, Laura, Jeff, can you guys go in the kitchen and fix the cranberry sauce.
Are you kidding?
I'm not.
Wait, so your grandparents set up your parents?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know.
That's like insane.
You didn't know that? No, my grandmas were
I
friends.
did.
Because my grandpas worked for the same company.
Which company?
It was like a tech company that did like personal computers like when they first came out.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, and then they fixed the cranberry sauce, and then they both lived, my dad lived in Boston, my mom lived in Chicago, and then so they went home to their respective cities, and then my dad mailed my mom a can of cranberry sauce and was like, it was so good meeting you.
Are you serious?
No, and then it was off to the races.
I'm off to the races, bases. Okay, so you would take a cranberry sauce can and just dump it straight onto your turkey, or do you need to heat that up?
Not onto the turkey. It's in its own separate dish.
Okay, but you don't need to like do anything to it.
Like,
basically,
I don't think so. That being said, I am in the school of homemade cranberry sauce, which is whole cranberries simmered with sugar, orange zest, cinnamon stick, maybe a little ginger. Like I love that shit.
That sounds great.
And it's like, I
just prefer savory to sweet. Although I think this year I will indulge in mixing the two more because I'm realizing how good that can be.
I like that it's a little sweet and it's really like tart. I like that like it kind of, you're eating so much like fatty, heavy, like creamy things. I like that there's a bit of like.
Other dishes worth pointing out before we arrive at dessert. Like I know there's typically some green beans.
Yeah, I'm green bean, I'm Brussels sprout, I
love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
I will say like I have cooked a lot of Brussels sprouts in the past year, and I'm basically chopping those up, drizzling with olive oil, salt, pepper, roasting, and agitating them on the sheet tray halfway through to make sure they get as brown and crispy as possible. Crackles.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect. I'm corn. Are you
corn? Oh yeah, I'm corn.
Are you
on the cob? Are we talking?
Or like creamed corn or corn casserole?
I never understood what creamed corn was.
Right. It's can be a few different things. Like if you make it homemade, it's like almost you're making like a creamy gravy. Like you're starting with a roux, which is equal parts fat and flour, and you're adding cream. So it's like making this thick sauce.
Oh.
Or you can use something like
and then adding
cream
corn.
of mushroom soup.
Well, which cream of celery soup goes into in a casserole. Which I don't know if we'll get to
sort
that,
of casserole. It's like casserole vibes.
We never talked about gravy.
Right.
What is gravy coming out of the bird?
So where do we even start?
Take a deep breath.
Gravy. Gravy is a byproduct of what comes out of the bird.
That's what I thought. But so didn't the stuffing soak up all that juices, or am I on glue?
But there is still stuff. Okay. So like, you know how at the bottom of the pan, there's like, it's called a fond. Like there's like brown bits and like shit and like all this. And when like
you say
fat,
shit,
I don't mean.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You never know with an animal. No, there's like this stuff stuck to the bottom of the pan. Yeah. There's like juices. There's fat.
See, I thought that was all because I just wasn't clean enough.
No,
but we
mine
all
would have come out clean. No shade.
So you don't paint. Do you paint? I mean, you have stuff going up every which way. I hear.
That is such a beautiful question.
Painted?
I mean, girls aren't really participating in a clean out.
And I'm telling you.
And by the way, double the hole, double the paint. I mean, there's
double the hole, double the toll.
Yes. Because there's byproduct of one hole, and then there's byproduct
of a sacred deer.
Second hole when things like your period start.
Oh God.
Well, anyway,
back to Thanksgiving dinner time.
So you can make gravy like with a roux, which is
and that's again flour and
fat. So you can use the fat that is the byproduct of the boy, or you can use something like butter and start your gravy.
And will that turn the sort of toffee brown color we expect from gravy?
Yeah, because a lot of people use something like something to help them deepen the flavor that's often brown. Most people use Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, Worcestershire.
Some people use soy sauce.
Cool.
Or some people use like a darker colored stock, like beef stock.
And what would you choose to use? We really want your opinions here.
I would use, first of all, I'm definitely adding a splash of soy to my gravy, and I'm definitely using, and I hate to say this, I'm probably making a turkey stock ahead of time.
And that is done
with like turkey wings or like
so you're
bones.
Like boiling
you
those
can get like
to
turkey
get a
neck
liquid
bones.
that's infused with essence of turkey.
Essence of turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm using my turkey essential oil.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past you.
And then I'm diffusing it in my diffuser.
Oh, I have a diffuser. I actually have a few questions I need to pull up from some people I pestered into asking things. But so gravy, any other helpful tips? Let's give people something they can use to really wow their communities this year.
I would say gravy, swap Worcestershire for soy.
Okay, so you do think Worcestershire, even though you're using soy?
No, swap the traditional Worcestershire.
For soy, okay.
Yes.
My another question from the audience, friend of the pod, Drew Anderson, asked, how do you make baked mac and cheese and make it really sing?
Okay.
Like, let's get some really great ideas flowing.
Here's a few baked mac and cheese hacks. 1, undercook your pasta severely when you boil it because it's baking. It's going to continue baking and you want it to maintain a little integrity of the noodle. You don't want it to go to mush.
Okay.
2, this word keeps coming up. Start your cheese sauce with a roux.
And we're not talking, just to be clear, about Zendaya's character in Euphoria.
No, we're talking ROUX. And we're also not talking Amanda Steinberg's character in The Hunger Games.
And I do have one more question, which is we're not talking about the little guy in Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, we are talking about him. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry. I'm sorry. We are talking and only
so you're going to sear him on a grill.
I'm going to bake him. So start with fat and flour, aka butter and flour, and then slowly
In a pan? Okay.
Slowly add your cheese. And we're wanting to use a lot of different kinds of cheeses.
Yeah, Gruyere,
cheddar.
Parmesan?
Sure. Like Gouda, Munster, anything.
Oh, I love Munster.
I would just say mix your cheese.
Favorite cheese of yours?
Cheddar. Classic.
Same.
Or like
Gruyere's good too.
But I also put mozzarella on everything, like Italian food, like big fresh mozzarella. Anyway, Gruyere is really, I think, important in a baked mac and cheese. Mm-hmm. And then so you are building this cheese sauce and you're flavoring it deeply because definitely salt, but I would do a little Dijon mustard. I would do smoked paprika. I would do pepper. I would do cayenne, like
cumin.
Not Hermie, but
okay. I like cumin a lot.
Okay, then add it.
But it
then add it.
Then add it.
And then you're tossing your.
No, I didn't need to say it again.
And then you're adding your undercooked pasta to this cheese sauce.
Did you have a stroke?
Cheese sauce. You see that? I can't pronounce words.
It's hard. It's getting harder.
And people are being a lot more bold.
When I was a kid, it was like the tip of the tongue is at the roof of the mouth.
Red leather, yellow leather.
I couldn't even say it. Yeah.
And here's what I need in a baked mac and cheese.
Wow, a chic woman is exiting her house across the street and flipping her hair.
Oh,
that was amazing.
She kind of looks like Hannah Montana in that outfit. Like it's fugly.
I actually know what you mean. I know what you mean. Sorry, you were saying?
What is integral to my baked mac and cheese is breadcrumb topping.
See, isn't that gonna take a crunchiness into the otherwise purely smooth, gooey texture and ruin everything?
What you're not thinking about is the population who likes crunchy texture on top of smooth.
I like crunchy, and I suppose tuna casserole. Did I tell this story last food episode? But basically, tuna casserole, super quickly, is a Wisconsin dish that consists of cream of celery soup, milk, sour cream, all these dairy products, and noodles and peas and celery, and it's topped with, and canned tuna. It's topped with cheddar cheese and crumbled potato chips. It sounds disgusting. It's actually really good. But one time when I was trying to go dairy-free, I bought all these dairy-free ingredients that were super expensive and made my own batch in Brooklyn and started eating it and found it to be disgusting before realizing that I had bought vanilla-flavored almond milk for the milk substitute. And I ate most of the tray because it cost like $70 to make with all those ingredients. And then I finally had to throw the rest away because it was so nauseatingly sweet.
Yes. So Hilton made and ate tuna casserole with vanilla milk.
Yeah.
Great.
So anyway, though, if you get that
No
one
worries.
without vanilla, no strings attached, you're going to find that the crunchy on top of the smooth is very delicious. And so maybe...
So if, and listen, if you're not part of my community, one, you can go to hell, but two, you don't need panko breadcrumbs. You can just do extra cheese on top. But again,
And if you put enough extra cheese on top and let it broil on top, you could get it crunched that way.
That's true. But
Which wouldn't be good.
ultimately, I have a cult and my followers are panko breadcrumbs.
You do have a cult.
Yes.
And a lot of them happen to be gay men.
A lot of them happen to be gay men, but a lot of them happen to be lesbians.
That's true. Another girl just walked out the same door.
She is a little less chic.
Question for the culture. Mm-hmm. So that's baked mac and cheese.
That's baked mac and cheese.
We touched on Brussels sprouts. Green beans are just basically self-explanatory. Carrots are good.
Yes.
Like boiled carrots.
I see. Well, boiled carrots.
Is that right? What
like
are you doing
most
for
people
carrots?
would say roasted carrots.
Oh, roasted carrots.
But you could boil them.
I mean, I like little like soft baby carrots. I do recall liking that.
I don't.
No?
But a mutual friend and friend of the pod, Marty's mom, makes these consomme carrots, which are baby carrots and beef consomme, which is like beef broth. And those I like.
Now, how come broth be called so many different things?
I know. Consomme
not that I have a problem.
I literally don't even have an answer. It's like broth, stock,
It's the
consomme.
French.
I think maybe it's just
That'll be
like
the French.
levels of concentration.
Okay. That sounds good.
I'm not like a super carrot head. Here's how my mom makes Thanksgiving carrots. She roasts carrots, long carrots. She puts them down on a bed of labna, which is yogurt, and then covers them. Oh, and they're roasted with cumin.
Oh,
and then covers them in herbs and pomegranate seeds so they look pretty.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. But I'm like, I'll have one and it won't move the needle, but like I'll do it for the story.
Yeah. I just totally blanked, but I guess other dishes we want to put on the table, like cornbread, bread, anything else.
Okay, so
worth mentioning?
bread is really important to me, and the star of my Thanksgiving, my personal Thanksgiving, is my sister, shout out Samantha Reed Yates, makes. Hey girl.
Hit us up.
Hit us up. Come over. She makes homemade dinner rolls every year.
Oh, Pillsbury?
No, like homemade,
homemade.
like yeast dough.
I love
And
those
she
Pillsbury rolls, though.
crunts-
That is a
I
great
know.
thing for
Oh
any
my
Thanksgiving
God.
table.
I want those now.
Same.
She crunts so hard every year on the rolls.
She crunted too close
And
to
my
the sun.
mom crunts extra close to the sun with making herb butter. So we'll soften butter, chop up a bunch of herbs like rosemary and thyme and parsley.
Jinx
Put it
personal
in
drink.
the butter. Let it set in individual ramekins, and we
So just at
go,
air temperature,
like
room temperature.
Yes, and we go like pigs to a trough in that butter with those homemade rolls. And
So rolls with butter is a good thing.
rolls with butter is all I want, actually, in any context.
I want to guide us to salad. Because
Yeah.
you actually taught me how to make salad dressing. I forget if we touched on this last
Yes,
episode.
I think we did like the Dijon
The
cheese.
Dijon with the olive oil and
Yes.
the salt and pepper.
And I think a Thanksgiving salad is so fun because you can thinly shave Brussels sprouts and eat them raw.
oh, okay.
That's a fun Thanksgiving
In the
salad.
salad.
Or like a kale scallop.
Kale salad.
Kale salad.
Freak!
A kale
Sorry.
salad. Any salad is good. I love vegetables. I love salads. But like,
What else would you throw in there? I'm a big heart of palm
sure.
hortensia.
Yeah. Or like go like fall vibes, put roasted sweet potatoes in your salad.
Yeah.
Feta, pomegranate seeds.
I
for
like
color.
potato to be as finely chopped. Like I want whatever happened to I haven't
love hash
seen
browns.
real like grated hash browns
Scattered
in
hash
forever.
browns. Like, have you ever been to Waffle House?
I can't remember.
No. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to things like that.
Yeah.
Like Cracker Barrel.
Like a plate of scattered hash browns is what I want. Where it's like,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
thin-
That's what these days I go to the bodegas and they have hash browns, but it's like the McDonald's style, which is still good,
is
but
fine.
not. I actually have one congealing right in front of us. Salad leads us to dessert.
Yeah, dessert is where the Thanksgiving girls go kind of crazy.
And by the
myself
way,
included.
like, I doubt there's going to be much difference in a Christmas talk. Like, this basically all applies to Christmas.
This is Christmas talk. I do have one Christmas-specific dessert question, which we'll get to.
We'll get to, but opening remarks on just dessert as a whole.
Dessert is like, my thing is like, make a lot of pie. I know you think, oh, you're my mom and you're telling me, Haley, there's only 4 people of us at Thanksgiving dinner. We don't need 3 pies.
Right.
4 people of us. But I'm saying, Mom, I want 3 different types of pies.
Pecan for me. Or chocolate
Hands
peanut
down,
butter.
pecan pie. And you know what? I was a freak who did not like pecan pie until like the past 5 to 6 years.
See, I like would expect that for myself, but I randomly got educated early on that. Like, pecan pie is the best pie.
It's so good. I was always pumpkin first.
Oh, pumpkin's great.
Pumpkin's great, but I do think pecan is better.
Hacks on pies. One I would suggest is, I know that graham cracker crust can really pack a punch.
Yeah. I mean, I would, like, I don't, you know, I don't have super hacks.
Right.
Like,
I mean, pie's pie.
pie is pie, and it's really good. And I think it, like, tastes good left over. Like,
Totally.
I think, like,
we didn't even discuss leftover culture.
leftover.
Make way more than you need.
Exactly,
so you can
because
eat
I want
for
the
weeks.
sandwich the next day.
I want stuffing.
I want stuffing on
In
bread.
every sense of the word.
And that's a bread sandwich.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, bread.
You want to paint.
Oh, bread sandwich. Oh. My number one dessert in the world, Thanksgiving or otherwise, is taking chocolate chip cookies, undercooking them. Now, basically, I'm these days using the dice, which is the cubed Toll House cookie dough, but baking from scratch is obviously heaven as well. And ultimately, better batter, maybe equal or lesser final product cookie, depending on how you do it.
Yes.
If you catch what I'm saying.
Yes,
the
yes,
batter
yes.
tastes better,
Exactly.
but the cookie
Has to be
final
under.
result of the pre-made dough is so good. And if you cook it under so that when it comes out, it's not fully cooked and it sets and sort of caves in the middle, you know you have a perfect cookie. And then you drizzle with some sea salt while it's still undercooked. Yeah.
Sorry to do that.
That wasn't okay with me. And I'm pissed.
Somebody at the restaurant, it's really something fun in restaurant culture is like bringing presents like to the back of house. So like if I went and visited a friend who was a chef at another restaurant, I would consider bringing them and whatever team of people is cooking there that night.
But how would you guys cross-pollinate if you're both working in your own restaurants and don't have time to visit?
I'm going on my night off.
How do
That, my dear, is a story for a different day. But long story short, somebody from another restaurant that is a heavy hitter in my community, at least the lesbians of Brooklyn. And it's a restaurant called La Cantine, and it's in Bushwick. And they make
French?
Sandwiches and cookies. And they brought us so many cookies and
chocolate chip?
Chocolate chip. And I like the perfect big underbaked, like, and so I've been eating those as a gift.
You didn't remember to bring a gift here today.
No, so I did eat them all.
And I'm telling you
Yeah.
What else? What was your Christmas dessert that you wanted to bring?
Oh, I got a question. Well, some of the questions.
Yeah, what are your questions? Let's touch on your mailbag.
One of the questions I got was about a Christmas specific dessert called panettone. Do you know what this is?
No.
It's like, you might recognize it if you see it. It's basically it kind of looks like this. Let me Google. Like, it's this.
It looks,
Maybe
dear
haven't seen
readers,
this.
like a nutty sort of muffin.
It's like
It does not look very good.
I don't like it.
Although I do like banana nut muffins, I will say that.
Same. I don't love it, but somebody wrote in asking what the fuck is its tea, because it's like a very Christmas traditional dessert. It's like this huge bread loaf, giant muffin looking thing. It's kind of like fruitcake where it has like nuts and...
And what was the question? How to make it?
No, the question is like, what the fuck? Like, why? And what's tea?
Okay.
And I don't have anything super enlightening to say about panettone other than bread. I mean, it's a very old school traditional thing. And bread, when, used to be like a luxury, like bread with like luxurious mix-ins, like fruits and nuts, was not everyone's everyday tea. So it was a very special occasion thing.
See how interesting to reflect on the history of this food and
Exactly.
see
And
why
especially-
people would like it when it does look so nauseating.
And when we're talking olden days, white bread was reserved for upper class because
They had bleach in King Arthur's court.
in King Arthur's court, the more that you processed a grain, the more time and money it takes, so that it was really only reserved for like royalty.
Isn't white bread bleached?
I mean, now it's you.
Can you believe that, by the way? Like, we're literally eating bleach.
But it's not like
It's cooked
that
off.
tea. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's more like refined in a grain processing, like pressed.
Okay.
Like amber waves of grain. Like,
I will confess I'm completely glazing over at that. But
the long story short is peasants.
amber waves of grain, I know
Yes,
that.
yes. Peasants had like multi-grain, darker wheat bread. So to have a special occasion bread was like absolute holiday tea.
Mm-hmm.
When it was like not only a white bread, but it had like fruit and nuts in it. It's like, that's gossip.
That's
what you
tea.
on?
Oh, okay, I'll serve it. Oh my God, disease victim. Yeah,
I'm a disease victim,
I'm a disease
and
victim.
I literally will take a gun and shoot anyone who's not.
I'm a disease victim.
I missed you at the Macy Rodman Gaga
Oh, fuck.
hour.
How was that?
It was unbelievable. She's a
Really?
disease victim.
What did she open and close with?
Well,
Make cure disease.
she closed with an encore of The Cure. Does that make you?
I'm sick
upset?
to my stomach. I missed it. I can't believe it. It's also
and
on
she
Block
did
Off.
art pop. She did.
She
a
did.
lot
What did she open with?
Okay, she opened with Harlequin, which was, of course, a joke. And
Harlequin
left
is
everybody
not
a bit gaga. And in a room of Gaga heads, most of us were confused.
And scared.
But she's a genius, so she knew what she was doing.
What was the best
Sex
song?
Dreams?
Sex Dreams.
Or you know what was amazing?
What?
Shaibi.
Oh, Shiza.
Shiza.
So you said Shaibi.
Well, that's how I read it phonetically.
No, I mean, that's how I thought it was pronounced until...
She did this really funny monologue about Berlin, which is like,
Oh, she did.
as you know and participate
I'm
in,
a
like
Berlinian.
when everybody comes back from Berlin, like life has changed, everything's amazing. She did this long monologue.
my
that was
God.
like
That is so
funny. She was like,
true.
you have to go, like you. Like,
It really is so true, though.
I
You
know,
do
I mean,
have to go.
It's funny when things are true and it's a joke. It's
that
like
is the best thing
you,
of all.
like it's like you have to do this. You have to listen. You have to go. It's like it's true.
I want to quickly jump in to recall that one dish I made for the holidays, I think last year, was Alison and Roman's potato latkes, which came out really lovely.
I love latkes.
They're
That's
so
like hash
good.
brown vibes,
Yeah,
basically.
that's like my preferred food type.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even talked about Passovering or
Sure, yeah.
Hanukkah.
Anything else?
Or Yom
I
Kippuring.
actually made matzo ball soup too. I'm recalling Alison Roman. It was
Yum.
really good.
Yeah, I mean, we're also in the heavy hitting season of Jewish holidays.
Yeah.
Which comes with its own set of
Delicious
holiday
foods.
food teas.
Yeah.
And my family celebrates Christmas with all of our Jewish friends. We have a big family friend Christmas Eve party, and we make fondue, which is
Cheese?
fun for tradition's sake, but low-key of that of like cheese isn't my tea. But
That is where we depart each other.
but you know what I like is I like what was I gonna say? Ham and cheese. I love ham.
Oh,
and
I don't
Philly
like
cheese.
ham.
I do. That's a lot of people do that for Christmas.
Ham
a
and
honey
cheese.
baked ham.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
right.
I think. Right?
I don't like ham.
I didn't.
My family
and then
doesn't
I
either.
grew up.
I want to throw in the two traditional dishes that we have been making over the years in my family on Christmas Eve. Both are Giada de Laurentiis recipes because we grew up loving the beautiful woman.
Oh, she's amazing.
One is calamari,
Oh,
and we
cool.
buy squid at the fish market.
like fried or
Yeah, and we roll it in like breadcrumb. We do gluten free and like with salt and pepper, and then just fry it on the stove.
Yum.
And that comes
love
out really well
fried calamari.
with lemon, and then that's great. Although it is really expensive, time consuming, and messy.
But other than that, it's perfect.
The other dish we make, another Giada dish, is Nutella ravioli. So you take wontons, squares of wonton, dollop of Nutella, and then like egg or whatever as glue, close the wonton, fry that, and then top with powdered sugar, and you have these lovely little
I mean,
morsels.
that does sound good. I just
It is
was
good.
technically gagged.
I did gag you, and I was hoping to.
Oh, wow. That sounds good, I suppose.
Oh, you're pissed.
I'm walking out. I'm getting my bag.
Your nose is bleeding.
Huh.
Bar.
No, it's not. Is it?
No, I was kidding.
So scared. Girls, I get bloody.
I always say that, and people are like, wait, it is? And I'm like, no. I just think it's funny of someone like getting so angry or stressed out their nose bleeds.
I know, that's heaven.
Do you have any other traditions that are outside the norm? That
I would say Christmas Eve fondue is my tradition. Oh, my other Thanksgiving tradition that I guess will be the first year this breaks is that we have I was going to say no clothes rule, but that's
nudists.
Yeah, I just hang out with my parents. No, we don't get dressed out of our pajamas. So we have a strict pajama dress code.
Of course.
Which is beautiful because some people like dress up for Thanksgiving dinner and I'm like, get a grip.
We like to stay in PJs and not leave the couch and watch all 8 Harry Potters.
Yes, or the Westminster Dog Show.
I actually haven't had the pleasure.
Oh.
But
okay.
I think that sounds great.
Okay. Well, it's on Thanksgiving and it's good.
We like to watch Home Alone on Christmas. Home Alone.
Sure.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
No, sure. No. Okay. Yep. Completely.
Other questions from your mailbag, or did we cover them?
Oh, one person asked about all the 12 days of Christmas and what they each mean, but
damn, you have a really responsive community.
Well, it's
I had
because
to fight to get someone to ask about baked mac and cheese.
I suggested some topics,
okay.
people.
Okay.
I actually have to Google the 12
Google
of Christmas.
I feel loopy.
Partridge in a pear tree. Don't know what it is.
This stuff is bullshit, but like, yeah, go ahead.
What the fuck is a turtle dove? Don't know.
Chocolate.
French hens.
3 French hens.
5 golden rings. 6 geese laying. It's all coming clear. I don't know what these
I don't know this
are,
shit.
so I can't.
Can I say one thing? It's like I'm. Everyone should believe what they want, and I'm happy for them. But like me personally, I was not raised religious. I do not feel called towards religion, and I reject any religious associations with myself, and am not interested in that. So
sure. Is that just like independent, or is that like?
I guess this isn't really the religion, but more the church. But I just feel like the Catholic Church has done so many atrocities, homophobia, transphobia, child molesting, that I'm just like, I just want to stand up and say no.
I know. I think it's time to stand up.
Babble.
No, but
seriously.
I don't have any belief in religion and was not raised in religion, but I was raised with Santa Claus.
So was I. And of course, religion can be so meaningful to a person, and I encourage people to believe what they wish, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, I think some Western
I believe in a higher energy that we're all a part of.
Of course. I mean, I believe in the universal spiritual power that exists within us and around us. However, organized religion where there's like abuses of power and like big egos are really scary.
Yeah.
But with that, God bless ye, merry gentlemen.
Merry and gentlemen. Oh, that said, I love A Christmas Carol.
Yes, and I love Christmas music, and I like when there's a nativity toy set to play with.
And I like a gingerbread house. I like a fire burning in the hearth.
I like when candles are in the window. I like a wreath.
I love
I like when carolers...
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I like when carolers hold like one hand in the other and like cross them, sort of.
I always have dreamed of caroling.
Why don't you make it happen, girl?
Want to do that this year?
No.
Okay.
But you should.
I also do enjoy... you know what I like? The Charlie Brown Christmas album. It's my favorite Christmas songs.
I don't know her, really.
It's mostly instrumental.
Wait, I have a question for you about holidays.
Okay.
How does it feel having a birthday so closely tied to Thanksgiving?
How lovely. My birthday is early enough that it's never actually fallen on Thanksgiving, but it is November 20th, and so it often falls the week of Thanksgiving. This year, it's the week before. The thing about my birthday that's cool is November 20th is basically the weekend before Thanksgiving is when all the biggest movies come out. So like most years Harry Potter would come out on my birthday. Wicked is coming out the 21st this year. So it's fun in that regard. And because I love movies, and so I always get to like time. I mean, this year I'm seeing Wicked the day after my birthday. Like that's heaven. And will serve as a sort of secondary celebration for me.
Thank you to Jacob Greenberg.
I want to get a ticket to Gladiator for earlier that day.
Oh, you want a
I want to do a double feature.
Gladiator?
Yeah, but no, it hasn't been too much of a problem. For some people, it's like on the holiday or like so close to Christmas that it's like, oh fuck, I am only gonna get one set of presents or whatever, and that must be hard.
That was never.
But I never teed it up that way.
Oh my gosh! So your birthday's so soon.
Yeah.
Wow. But it's 31.
My mom got me a really cool present this year.
What'd she get you?
She knit me a vest, which maybe I'll wear on my birthday, and then she got me. It's over there. I'll show it to you later. But it's like a notebook, but it looks like a book from like Pirates of the Caribbean or something. Like the pages are ripped and it's like leather bound. It's really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
She's
everything.
Queen.
We just saw Wicked. It's heaven.
The show?
The show on Broadway. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it was amazing. I bawled. That's the last time I cried.
Oh my God.
Anything else we need to say? Like, I feel like we're actually
I know, we got through like so
We got through a lot,
much
and like we're at a good length, and
we did juiced up things.
Juiced up. Closing remarks, like, who are you in the holiday food ate? Like, who are you?
You know what? I think I'm Charlotte, because Charlotte would grunt a huge spread and gather all of her family and be like, it's really important for me that you guys all sit down, shut up, and eat the food.
Yeah, totally.
And I would do that.
I think I'm going to be Jessa, because I'm going to show up late and like not have brought anything and like be like, oh, but I did bring like...
But I'm here.
But
that's what matters.
Yeah.
And I did bring like Lay's potato
and I brought
chip.
an Irish buck.
Babble, babble, babble.
I love you, kid.
Okay. Goodbye and happy holidays,
Goodbye.
babblers.
Have a happy holiday season. We may take a slight break in babbling for the holidays, and we'll be back soon with more.
All the things that I want to talk about. We'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking. Just keep talking. Talking. For so long. Oh, we're babbling on. We're babbling
Babbling On is created, produced, and edited by Hilton Dresden. The theme song is by Benny Cortoletta, featuring Callie Baker, and is produced by Benny Cortoletta and Jack Grouse. The artwork is by Hilton Dresden. Audio consultation from Kenzie Woodrow and Dallas Seeker. Special thanks to Alec Cohen, Natalie Rotter-Laitman, Molly Montgomery, Nick Krause, and to everyone who has subscribed to Babbling On the Substack and refused to shut the fuck up.